welcome to this RapidDeploy version 4.0 how-to guide. My name is Richard Bettison and today we're going to look at creating deployment plans. Okay, so let's log into RapidDeploy. Now, in order to create a deployment plan, you just really create a job in the normal way or a set of jobs in the normal way, but instead of actually running those jobs, you just save them as a deployment plan. And you can introduce dependencies between each of the components of that plan or individual jobs to organize it how you want. So we go to Jobs, New Job. And today I'm just going to combine two projects. So first of all, I'm going to run the file system demo in the one environment that we've got. And then I'm going to run the script. So this is kind of like you might actually run some changes to a file system and then you might run some scripts. Okay, so I'm going to select the blue circle and the red square, so two different invocations of the same script. And then I'm going to go to Next. And you'll see here that the versions that have been selected are the pre-selected versions for the latest version available. And in fact, we only have one version. When you create a deployment plan, typically you'll want to go back in and change that deployment plan between runs to change the version of the various components that you run. But otherwise, you probably don't want to change anything else. Now on this panel, I can set some batch settings, so I can determine what runs relative to the other jobs in the deployment plan. And for this one, I'm going to set it so that the file system job runs first. And then once the file system job is complete, I'm going to have both of the script demo jobs running at the same time in parallel. So I'll just make this one predecessor 1 and this one also predecessor 1, so that this job will run first and then both of these two jobs will run in parallel. And I can also set what I want to happen if one of the jobs fails, and I don't want any of them to carry on. So continue on failure is set to no. On this panel, I can set some manual execution between jobs. So I can say that I want somebody to log in and approve a transition between one job and another. And I can just set this manual execution from no to yes. I can also put in here a manual timeout, and that will determine how long we wait before we do something with that job. So if we have a manual execution and we set one of these values to say 20 minutes, if nobody logs in and approves the job within 20 minutes, then we'll take an action. And the action could be continue or end the job. We can also schedule the job here. Okay. And then we come to confirmation. And normally if we was just going to run a standard job, we would just click the Start Jobs. But here we're just going to actually save this as a job plan. We're going to give it a name. We'll do that. And I'm going to set this to be private only for me. I do have the choice to make this public to all users. And I'm going to show you how we can promote job plans to groups and, in fact, globally in another one of these how-to guides. So now I'm going to save that job plan. And we can see that this job plan here has been saved. And you get to that by going to User, My Job Plans. We can then run that job. And that will take us into the wizard, but with everything already pre-completed. So I can go through and change things between running this deployment plan. But in this case, I'm just going to skip to finish. And I'm going to start the job. So we can see now that the file system job is running first. That's complete, and so now the other two script.jobs are also running in parallel. And we can rerun that job with changes or not as many times as we want. Okay, that concludes this demo for today, showing how to create deployment plans. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you.